Okay, we have got a fun topic for news from the Warfront. All right, this is an offering from Derek on our EDH. It says, would it be wrong of me to kick someone out of a pod at my LGS for using proxies? Now, the post is a bit longer and there are lots of specifics, but we are going to do some summing up. So, his local LGS, his gaming store, has Commander Nights 2 nights a week, and there are in-game achievements, like what we did in the Eldorado Ascension Classic, that allow you to earn points that you can actually cash out for packs and prizes at this LGS. If you earn these achievements in-game, then you can cash them out for prizes. So, this person says that they modify their decks to accommodate the rest of the pod. They don't want to have steamroll combo turn 3 decks because they want to give people opportunities to earn achievements as they play. So they want a little longer game. That way people can earn these achievements. And then he says that recently there's a new player showing up with decks printed out on printer paper, lots of proxies. And that the decks they're using are very high tier, combo based, competitive decks. You know, tuned to win on turns 2, 3, or 4. Very, very early in the game. The player explains that they don't have a lot of money, but they want to play, and so they print out their decks. And this person says that it doesn't feel like the right place in a fun for everyone achievement format.
Yeah.
The poster says that they're considering bringing this up to the LGS's team, or invoking some kind of rule that the pod can kick a player out of their pod by voting. And basically they're just asking the masses' opinion on how to treat this player that has tons of proxies and competitive decks in this meta. Derek, you are the one who brought this post to our attention, and so I want to get your opinions first. What do you think this person could do?
I mean, I thought it was an interesting post. There's quite a bit of nuance in the situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, okay, so it's a tournament for prizes. So this person, I guess the offending party, brought a strong deck because, as we've said before, if it's a competition, don't expect to make friends, you know?
Right.
I don't
expect
like
any mercy. Don't expect any social nuance.
Yeah, and I think it's... Honestly, I feel like it's on the LGS to not... I don't think anyone is in the wrong.
Yeah.
Except for
it's a really
the
confusing situation, yeah.
Like, the person wants to play, and I am not going to gatekeep someone from playing because they can't afford to play. Like, someone playing the game is more important to me than someone having the actual physical cards. Like, the rules have been printed. It doesn't care what it's printed on.
Yeah.
In my opinion. You know, whether it's cardboard or paper, it's some kind of paper. So, I don't know, I just thought it was interesting and worth talking about.
Yeah, it's very fascinating that this LGS has cash prizes, but according to this poster, these prizes are not necessarily based on the winner of the game. They're based on things that you accomplish in the game, similar to our meta's competitive achievements that we planned. So having a creature with power 20 or greater, or having 20 cards in hand, or having 100 life, that doing these things is what gets you points that you can cash out for prizes. Duke, I need you to chill out. We are almost done. He's coming up to me being like, Father.
Papa, I'm real tired.
Father,
Sun's getting real low, big boy.
Take me to bed. And I don't know. Do I prefer that as a way to get prizes from my LGS? Or would I prefer just a first, second, third, fourth, you get points based on the end? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
what do y'all think?
For this exact situation, I feel like there is no rule, there's no law that says we have to play with this person. So This guy brought a deck that's going to blow them out of the water. And I think they mentioned they have a kid who is just getting into it and it just got so discouraged from getting stomped. You are not beholden to play with someone. The offending person wants to play, brought a strong deck because he wants to win prizes. But if no one's willing to play with you, you need to have a different deck that someone will play. Like that's the gamble you play. Is like if no one wants to play against your deck, then you can't play. So
yeah, this is true.
Having a different deck. I mean, Proxy a cheaper deck. I mean, no one wants to play a deck against turn 3 combo wins. Well, I say no one. CDH players do, but the average new person usually doesn't.
Derek, I agree with you that this guy's still, like, it's not a pay to enter. Well, one of my local LGS has P2P Commander Knights. Pay to play? Is that pay to play?
I guess so.
Sounds like it.
Oh. So they've paid for entry, but then if nobody wants to play with them,
I feel like you get your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like the LGS is f***ing up.
Yeah, it's yeah. What do you think, Randy?
Especially if someone's paying to get in to like try to earn points to then redeem for packs, and someone comes in with a fully proxy deck that's just gonna like stomp you. Is like, cool, I wasted my money, my time, my weekend on this. I would be like pissed.
Yeah, you as a different competitor.
Yeah. Me as a competitor, like if I played against someone like that, and I'm looking at, I'm like, this person's like, none of these cards are real. So it's like, yeah, anyone can go home and just print out a million Mox Lotuses and BS like that, and they just come up, with a $10,000 deck that they printed out.
No, I know what you mean. Just like
it would make
full
me so
of
mad.
fetch lands and fast mana and yeah,
just like everything that's like. It's like, no, this is ridiculous. Like, I'm not going to play against this because it's not fair, especially if you're like, say, if you paid. I think that in that kind of situation, the store needs to either A, just say no proxies allowed unless you have that card. Like, you can show me that you have it in another deck. Like, you own it, but you just like this art better. But it's like, you need to show me. Or say, like, if you're going to proxy something, like, your deck can't have more than X amount of proxy, like, value,
Well, okay.
Yeah, like a dollar limit
like $100 worth of, like, if I bought this card in real life, this card, like, I'm like a Mana Vault or a Mana Crypt, it's like $100. It's like, I chose one proxy, like, this is the one I wanted, but it's a big card, or what is it, the Roaming Throne or the One Ring. It's like, I wanted to proxy it, but.
So let's say this person did own every copy. There was no proxies in his deck. The situation's still messed up. It doesn't matter that he's proxying it. It's a matter of power level. Like he brought something that would win games, and these people wanted a different experience. Like, if we don't allow proxying, that means only rich people and super enfranchised players get to have the big fun cards.
Maybe it needs to be a rule of you can't proxy a card over a certain value then.
But can you play with it if you own it?
Yeah, so maybe.
So
maybe
why do rich people get to do it, but other people can't do it?
Dude, that's life.
If someone can afford a $3,000 card and another person can't, like, why is that fair?
Life ain't fair sometimes. But also, it could just be like maybe that store, maybe they need like a legit power level by price kind of thing. It's like, oh, like, you need to enter your deck list online, but before you come for this event, and then I can just plug that into TCG Player, see how much that deck is worth, and be like, okay, you're in Group A because your deck is worth over $1,000.
There you go.
I don't care if you proxy it at that point. You can they can all be proxies. I don't care at that point because we're playing against stuff of equal power.
But budget isn't a 1-to-1 with power level. Yes, powerful cards are expensive, but you can make a very cheap super combo crazy deck for $50, $100 or whatever.
Okay, well then make it for $50-$100. You probably don't need to proxy anything then.
I think the issue comes down to they're playing. Right? It's different power levels for different events, and once you choose to make something competitive, no one should be making power level considerations. If proxies are allowed, there's nothing stopping the people bringing a bunch of real cards from proxying decks to compete. Right. They basically. Once there's prizes on the line, you've made it CEDH, because that's what the C stands for. It's competitive. And if people don't want to play competitive for prizes, then there need to be rules on like there need to be additional bans. There needs to be a store ban list on
Ugh.
these things are not allowed, which is frustrating. But if everyone's playing at the store for prizes, then
and they're
publish the
complaining
store ban
about
list ahead
super
of time.
competitive people, then yeah, you do need an additional ban list. Oh, that's just so annoying. I'm just like, if you want to play for fun, then play for fun and then buy your cards. Like,
use your
I don't know,
entry fee to buy a pack or something.
Use your entry fee and get 2 packs, like, or get a single from the case, and then go play and have fun, rather than trying to finagle more product out of the shop than you can't have your cake and eat it too. To me,
exactly.
I mean, that's, in my opinion, if you want to have a willy-nilly fun night, then go have a willy-nilly fun night with your friends and strangers at the LGS, and then just buy product instead of going to an entry fee and then trying to finagle more product out of the shop than your entry fee would pay for.
That kind of feels like if I was a shop owner and it's like, so it'd be like, okay, so the person came in with a deck full of proxies, so that means they've bought nothing from me. They're paying an entry fee, but they're going to win because they're basically cheating in my eyes, personally. They're cheating so they can get an advantage to win more product. So, as a store owner, it's like, this person's only costing me money by letting them play, you know?
But they paid to
the
enter.
same is true for
like
everyone else, though. That everyone else is trying to get achievements in willy-nilly Funland in order to get more product than they paid for.
And I get that, but the other people are, if they're doing real cards, then they're probably, buying packs. They're probably buying singles there. They're probably buying product there. I would feel like this guy's walking in, giving me a 20, but then I'm giving him $40 in packs, and I'm like, he's only costing me money.
Well, you got that money for those packs from the other players.
You made money from this event.
So, but those other players are also still just buying
that's the whole
stuff
point.
in general.
Right, I could see wanting to prefer the players that buy from you over the ones that don't.
Well, why is this person not buying from you? It's not every proxy card or anything. Or, I mean, even if it was, it doesn't
according to the... Now, it is probably an exaggeration saying that the decks are printed out on printer paper. That's probably an exaggeration. But to have 30 proxied cards, that's still a really sizable portion of the deck.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think that's too many proxies to be using because you want to win at all cost. And I don't know, to me it feels kind of like cheating, especially if there's money on the line. It's like,
I mean, nothing stopped you from doing this also. You just chose to play a weaker deck.
I chose to not cheat.
It's not cheating.
That's how I view it, though. I view it as,
well, just because you view it doesn't
doing
mean it is cheating.
Okay, well, that's difference of opinion, man.
I think that my thing is, these people are all willingly coming in and saying, we're going to have a no-holds-barred judo tournament. But then all of these people who have only practiced middle school judo are entering this tournament. And then they're surprised that someone who is a college-level master judo martial artist, they're like really angry at him joining. It's like, well, then don't advertise it as the World Judo Tournament. I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that track? Do you think that analogy makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna...
These people are all intentionally saying, we want to play at a lower level. Well, then, don't... But if that's the case, don't invite big... I don't know. It's hard to...
Because the offending player probably doesn't know what everyone else has in their deck. He probably assumes, hey, we're all trying to play to win, so I need to bring my A game.
Yeah, that if it's pay to play, we want to win, get product. And I don't know what to do. Do you make a rule that says the game can't end before turn 5? Like, if you have a game-winning combo, you just have to wait and not take game actions. Like, I don't know how the LGS or the pods can fix this.
I mean, I feel like it's pretty easy to fix. You either say there are no rules except the official ban list, and this is competitive, and if you come with a less than competitive deck, that's on you, because you were allowed to proxy literally any deck you wanted. Or you have a store ban list where you say these, and it can even be there are no cards over $50 allowed.
Yeah.
Right? And then proxy what you want, or don't proxy, or whatever. But like, that solves the pay to win problem. It solves the we're here to have fun, or we don't like certain cards or whatever. It solves we can't be competitive with someone who's doing this, right? If you set a budget limit on decks, well, it makes it where people who don't want a proxy can afford to buy the deck, and people who still can't afford it can proxy, right? You just say you submit it. We use whatever price pops out on Architect, and then that's that.
Man, it just seems like so much bookkeeping for the LGS.
Yeah.
I'd be furious if I was the employee who had to run this event.
Yeah. How could you do this to me?
Yeah.
That's probably why you don't see it run very often. It's always just draft. But it's like,
Yeah.
hey man, what's in packs is in packs. That's all you get. There's no outside
Yeah.
influence. You can't proxy a draft.
And it guarantees
Yeah.
that product is getting bought.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, user. You got a weird situation on your hands. This episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Eldorado Gaming. Eldorado Gaming is your site for gifts and gaming accessories like dice, playmats, and other items to bling out your games. This product showcase is our treasure dice. For the fledgling dice goblin and for longtime collectors, these dice come in 8 beautiful and striking color varieties. If you want to try out the weight and feel of metal dice, these are the dice for you. Use the promo code META for 10% off your order. Find us on YouTube at Eldorado Gaming TX or our home site at eldoradogaming.com. So, what are our final recommendations? A budget limit on the decks.
I don't think that would fix anything because, like I said, you can just make a super competitive deck for $50. It doesn't change the situation.
I mean, it does a little bit because you could still make a super competitive deck, but so could everybody.
$50 is
Right.
a lot more accessible than $5,000.
Exactly.
So that's one possible change, and there's room for discussion on all of these. But we only have one episode, so a budget limit on decks. What else did we say?
Don't play with that guy.
Yeah, you're not.
Well, yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, but we're a friendship podcast. We want to make sure this guy can play.
Well, a game is not a hostage
Randy's
situation.
like, oh, I forgot.
Oh,
That's true. We've said that also. Games are not hostage situations, and you're under no obligation to play with this guy.
well, I think it was Randy who said this earlier, that have different circuits.
Yeah. Have different
say-
tiers or different brackets
Intro, mid-level, CDH.
Yeah,
based on
based on ban list or budget or
what a
mean,
person
you can-
signs up for.
yeah, and then everybody can vote at the end of a game. People can vote on whether or not people felt like
That's a fair match.
it felt like it was fair, and then maybe at the end of the night, if too many people voted you a certain way. Now, of course, that takes a lot of honor amongst your opponents.
Yeah.
Maybe it would just mean that you automatically got shifted into another bracket the next time
Yeah.
Like that.
or something like that.
Yeah. I don't see what fun someone would get from. I mean, if you know you have a high power deck and then you went and joined like the mid or low tier just to beat down on someone, the reason I say it's like cheating is because like to me that's the same thing of like what fun are you getting out of that on your end? It's the same people who do wall hacks in video games. It's you're not good, you're not skilled, you're not. I mean, I don't know what kind of fun you're having other than just being by using wall hacks and stuff like that. So it's like, what's the point? There's no point in playing against you. It's just not fair. And there's no point. I don't see the point in playing if you want to do that. Play solitaire. Play by yourself.
I mean, I don't feel like it's super accurate because it's like he's not joining so he can beat people. He's playing so he can win prizes. That's the fun, is winning the prizes.
So again, to me, it's like so you're using wall hacks in a tournament now.
I don't think that's accurate. I mean, I feel like it's like like a Call of Duty game. You got the best Call of Duty player in the world playing with some people from
Playing with some 8th graders.
Yeah, like
Travis here with an after show edit. Randy's mic unfortunately cut off near the end of this recording, and he does have some pretty insightful and funny comments. So I'm just gonna summarize the things he said and insert it when he says it, so that you can still get the context of our responses.
yeah, of course he won. He's got the most experience. I mean, it's not that he couldn't. Maybe the 8th graders got lucky or something. But if they're playing for prizes, saying it's the World Call of Duty Championship or something like that.
I'm just imagining the Then why is he showing up to play with 8th graders?
Well, like it's not like there's a thing on the set. It's like, hey, we're only playing with 8th graders. The world Call of Duty thing, but only 8th graders. He shows up. He brought a high tier deck, and I don't know what people are going to have when I go to the game shop.
Right. Yeah.
I love to imagine that a Boy Scout troop has a LAN party, but they open it up and they're like, World Halo Tournament. The winner gets a $20 Domino's gift card. and then sure enough,
Crazy
world
bread.
champion people are like, I'm here for that Domino's.
I want that Little Caesars crazy bread.
So this Boy Scout troop is like, oh my god, what's he doing? Yeah, that's definitely a great situation. Turned out a lot of good conversation was had. Some great disagreements, some respectful disagreements. I'm really proud of you, Derek and Randy, on how you handled yourselves tonight.
Well, if I was respectful, it was by accident. I meant to be disrespectful.
Benjamin, any last words of wisdom for our user here?
About this for this you no. No, you're
Change your LGS.
Go,
Change
yeah,
your LGS.
go find the or don't participate in, like, don't join a tournament and then expect people to not try their hardest. Like, if the person's not breaking your rules, then you're out of luck. Like, sorry.
Adjust the meta. Change the meta.
Right.
Power up. If you don't like this guy winning, then make it so he doesn't win.
Yeah,
but you're the one who has to change, not him.
Yeah, if you want to keep playing with that person, you need to power up. Or if he wants to keep playing with you, he needs to power down, depending on who wants to change. Or maybe you can meet somewhere in the middle. I don't know. I guess there's not really a middle.
I mean, this isn't a play group. This is a tournament.
Yeah, it's not a play group. So
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, if you join a competition, expect the absolute strongest, worst, most expensive decks to be played against you.
Yeah,
I agree.
Until they decide to make a separate EDH and a separate CDH format.
Yeah, I think they should change. They should have 2 ban lists and just make CEDH its own format.
Cool. They should make it so CEDH stops at turn 5, no matter what. And if nobody's won, too bad. Start over. I actually love that. Just a guarantee that the game ends and you have to shuffle up and try again.
CEDH players have gotten like 8 games in by the time regular competitive players get 1.
Yeah. They should just compare opening hands to see who's the winner.
Yeah, you've won. Congratulations.
You got me. All right. It'll end up like Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh, yeah, it totally will. Yep, my opening hand wasn't good, so I lost. Or I went second, so I lost. Benjamin, how can people reach us directly through email?
You can reach us at mymythicalmeta@gmail.com.
Randy?
Reach out.
Go ahead,
You let Benjamin finish his damn thing.
Go ahead.
That's all he's got.
Reach out to us with your reach out to us with your questions, with scenarios you want us to discuss, with topic ideas, deck techs you would like us to perform, anything that you want to ask us at mymythicalmeta. You can reach us at mymythicalmeta@gmail.com.
And David, your deck doctor is still in the works. We've pretty much planned it out. We just have to sit down and record it, which is another service we provide to patrons. Randy, what's our Patreon address? Patreon.com/mymythicalmeta. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. And Derek, Randy, Benjamin, thank you guys for being my great friends. Adios.
Thank you for being my good friend.
Bye.
Good night.
This episode was sponsored by Eldorado Gaming. Use the promo code META for 10% off your order. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. This episode was edited by me, Travis Konishek, and our intro and outro music is by Tyler Heath of the Oh Hellos.